Hello, I'm JSD, and welcome to my manual sugarcane farm tutorial, basically, on the most efficient designs. And let's start out with the noobs, what they do first. I call the lazy rows. And I have a 16 by 16 for each of them. So yeah, you can compare the sizes, and whoops, I destroyed something. But you get 120 grow spaces for this. The next one we have is the optimized rows, which you can put on both sides. Because this is just, you have more basically room for growth, because you're doubling the amount of water per growth area basically, and that gives you 160. Now this won't be a short video, this will actually be a quite longer one with a bit more explanations, but I'll just get on to the first designs and we'll just talk about other things after that. Okay, so next we have the efficient diagonals, which gives you 170 growth spaces. The lava represents every single area that's unused, and yeah, that's basically efficient diagonals, because they're diagonals, and because other diagonals would be like there, and I didn't want to show those because that would be basically a waste of time. So efficient diagonals. Next we have is the hash pattern, which gives you 184 growth spaces. This is really efficient, and I don't know how many people actually think about this design, honestly, but yeah, that's the hash for you. And the best one out of all of them is the diagonal hash, which gives you 192. As you can see, the water is way more spaced out and there's sugarcane everywhere. This is the most optimal design. Now, let me just explain why that one over there is the most effective. Let's use concrete to demonstrate. Let's imagine these are rows and the black is water. This is basically how it is. Black, white, black, white, black, white. But the fact that the water cannot power, but grow up to this means it's actually reducing by half. And the fact that the other black also share it means it's basically just affecting only one, which is very inefficient. So then we move on to the 2, which is basically the same thing, but why is it different? So because it's powering, why do I keep saying powering? Because it's feeding 2 rows of them, and then you go 2 rows over, and this is a 50% ratio, because you're getting both the front and back without losing any other space. But you can technically do ones up here, right? Yeah, but then you'll be losing this one. Then you could just put water here, right? And this is the checkerboard pattern, which I don't want to show because it's as inefficient as the rows. And yes, you could say this would work, but it would just create a massive checkerboard pattern, which is inefficient. Which brings us to the diagonals, which is basically similar to the checkerboard pattern, but gives space for every single plus to get its own. Here's what I mean. So for example, this is one of the pluses right here. Let's do this one, for example. Basically what it has is on the top, it has another plus right here. But the only thing that's different between these is that the water is in diagonal rows, which may seem efficient though, but isn't as efficient as the hash, which we will see later. And keep in mind the plus technique. So this is the hash, which is really like a visually pleasing design. Because why? Because there's just straight rows of sugarcane with just patches of water just everywhere here and there. And yeah, I like this too, but like, yeah, we all know it could be more efficient. And why? And here's why. So I put the black of, everything I just you know, made them like this. So I could use different colors and stuff, but fine, let's do it like this then. Here they're sharing right here. They're sharing right here. Actually, I'm gonna put every single green that's being shared. So let's change that really quickly. So at the center there's the water, the plus, and it's being shared here, which means it's equally inefficient basically. Even though these rows are here, these are being shared, therefore we're not getting the optimal range of sugarcane. But that's where the diagonal hash comes in, and this is the pattern of water, which basically has 100% of all spaces around it will be used efficiently, and that's why this is the most efficient. But we can go a bit further by stacking them on top of each other. Here I have a couple, you know, different ways to stack. Basically, you can put them on top of each other with a water source at the top. You can have water flows at the side, and the sugarcane will still be able to grow there. So what do we have? Don't kind of ignore the 4 because it's so inefficient you shouldn't even use it. But look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sugarcane per harvest per row basically, and then here we have 1, 2, 3, well, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, you should go with 3 basically, 3 high, but I can't do here because I was testing 16 only. But yeah, go for 3 and go for hash if you're trying to do it, diagonal hash. Like this, and the diagonal hash versus the diagonal is a bit like the diagonal hash is basically, so I mean, like, you can see the diagonal hash in this one, right? But like, it's arranged differently basically. That's why it's just slight movements can make a lot of efficiency, and that's what I found with these designs, testing them over and over. Also, here's one last time to visualize all of them. You can pause the video at any time.